Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I will share with you a story which shows the clever decision of a youth on how to live this life. The story is not necessarily true and serves only as an example. There was once a country a long time ago where the people would change the king every year. The person who would become the king had to agree to a contract that he would be sent to an island after his 1 year of being a king. So one king finished his term and it was time for him to go to the island and live there. The people dressed him up in expensive clothes and put him on an elephant and took him around the cities to say goodbye to all of the people. This was the moment of sadness for all of the kings who ruled for 1 year. After saying goodbye, the people took the king with a boat to the remote island and left him there. On their way back, they discovered a ship that had been sunk just recently. They saw a young man who survived by holding on to a floating piece of wood. As they needed a new king, they picked up the young man and took him to their country. They requested him to be the king for a year. He refused first, but later he agreed to being king. People told him about all of the rules and regulations and how he would be sent to an island after 1 year. After 3 days of being a king, he asked the ministers if they could show him the island where all the other kings were sent. They agreed and took him to the island. The island was covered with thick jungles and sounds of vicious animals were heard coming out of it. The king went a little bit inside to see how it was and discovered the dead bodies of all the past kings. He understood that as soon as they were left in the island, the animals came and killed them. The king went back to the country and requested the people to provide him with 100 strong workers. He was provided with 100 workers and he took them to the island and told them to remove all of the deadly animals and to cut down all of the trees. He would visit the island every month to see how the work was progressing. In the first month, all the animals were removed and many of the trees were cut down. In the second month, the whole island was cleaned out. The king then told the workers to plant gardens in various parts of the island. He also took with himself useful animals like chickens, ducks, birds, goats, cows, and so on. In the third month, he ordered the workers to build big houses and docking stations for ships. Over the months, the island turned into a beautiful place. The young king would wear simple clothes and spend very little from his earnings. He sent all of the earnings to the island for storage. 9 months have passed like this. The king called the people and told them that, "I know I have to go to the island after 1 year, but I would like to go there right now." The people didn't agree to this and said that he would have to wait for another 3 months to complete his term. 3 months passed, and now it was a full year. People dressed up the young king and put him on an elephant to take him around the country and to say goodbye to others. However, this king is unusually happy to leave the kingdom. People asked him, "All of the other kings cry at this moment, but why are you laughing?" He replied, "Don't you know what the wise people say? They say that when you came to this world as a baby, you were crying and that everyone was smiling. Live such a life that when you're dying, you will be smiling and everyone around you will be crying. I have lived that life. While all of the other kings were lost to the luxuries of the kingdom, I always thought about the future and I planned for it. I turned the deadly island into a beautiful abode for me, where I can stay peacefully." We should take a lesson from this story about how we should also live our lives. The life of this world is to prepare for the life of the hereafter. In this life, we shouldn't get lost into the beautiful things of this world and forget what is to come in the hereafter. Rather, even if we are kings, we should live a simple life like our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and save all of our enjoyments for the hereafter. May Allah make it easy for us.